Astronauts to the moon.
Ignition sequence start. 3, 2, 1.
Houston, we have a problem.
Liftoff. We have a liftoff. We copy you on the ground. You got a bunch of guys about to turn blue.
What you're seeing here is a mirage.
What's going on, everyone? It's Jaron from Jeranism back with another live video for you. It's going to be a short one today. I do mean that, even though people in the D-Live chat are already saying short show. That means 2 to 3 hours is usually is the case. But we're going to try to not make that the case today. And just so you know, if you're looking for Globebusters, as I'm sure many of you are, and Bob actually said this last week, I even forgot it, but Bob mentioned that this week is the week that he's getting moved into his new house. He's very happy to be where he's at and is moving into his new house, setting up, if you don't know, Bob has 4 monitors. A lot of us little nobodies, we have 2 monitors, or even some people with the dreaded 1. I have 2, but Bob uses 4 to run the show, and so I've been kind of running Globebusters from my end the last few weeks since we've been back, but Bob is taking over and running the show as he used to, but that's going to start next week. So even though we kind of came back from a little break, and you can call it the new season or whatever you want to call it, the actual real starting point will be actually next week. And if I think I saw correctly that Bob's going to have Stephen Ross on again from Spacebusters. Also, somebody he named Gleam. Do you know who that is, Rodrigo? You heard of? Oh, by the way, Rodrigo's joining.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. So it seems like this guy
Thanks for having me. Yeah, I don't think so. I don't know who he is.
Don't know either. But I guess he's very well versed in the luminiferous ether. And so it's going to be a discussion on the ether, which sounds like it'll be great. And yeah, so Bob's very excited. So Bob, enjoy moving into that new place. He says, let me see if we can read this chat actually, because it sounded pretty good. He says, I'll be working this week to get my office set up as we now have our high-speed line in. We are still migrating things in from the garage, making great progress. Had a new washer and dryer delivered, so finally they can clean clothes. We're still in utter disbelief and feel so blessed to have gotten this fabulous house and the property it sits on at such an incredible price. The home engineering inspectors gave it a stellar clean and bill of health, and another miracle in and of itself. Anyway, so he's not going to be doing Globebusters, but next week we will be back. He's excited about an awesome show. So I wanted to do something because if you remember, I told all my patrons that we'd be doing
David's here, eh?
Oh, David, welcome to the show. Yes, I'll bring him on in a second. Yeah, and to my patrons, I told everybody who is a patron that we'd be doing a Patreon-only Hangout today, and we are going to be doing that. I said it would be after Globebusters, and then I forgot that Bob said we wouldn't have Globebusters, so basically that's why we're having the show. And we're going to do the patrons-only Hangout, and it will be kind of cool. It'll be on StreamYard, so you guys will be able to join if you want. We can have up to 10 people that will join me. It'll be fun. We'll have a good conversation. That's going to be at 2 p.m., and right after this show is done, I will create the link. It'll be an unlisted link, and I will send it out to all patrons via a Patreon message and post. So check that out. That'll probably be in your inbox, and we'll see how many people join. I've got about 150 patrons. Maybe it's up to 160 now. So maybe there'll only be 10 there, 20. I don't know. Hopefully we can start doing this on the first Sunday of every month. Not sure about next month. As you guys know, I've got a baby 2 weeks away from the due date, so that'll be happening very shortly. And yeah, if you want to see Mrs. Big Belly, that's another reason to tune in tonight to the Patrons Only live stream, as I'm sure she will check in and say hello to all the fantastic patrons. So if you're looking for Globebusters, there isn't one. It's not happening today. If you're looking for me, hey, I'm here. Thank you, Rodrigo. Rodrigo is also available, so he jumped on the show just for we're going to do about a 40-minute show, try and be done by 1 p.m. Pacific so that I can get set up and ready for the Patrons-Only Hangout at 2 p.m. Pacific time. We also have joining us Dave Weiss for good reason. Dave sent me a video today. Dave, what is wrong with this person?
Oh, my God. You know what's funny is I accused the person. I thought it was Yana from Israeli News. I guess that makes me an accent racist. I don't know.
How dare you.
And so I kind of attacked them a little bit in the comments. Not too bad. But it's just it's firing up the unthinking people. Can you show the video, Jaron?
Sure, yeah. And, show it.
Can I see it while you're showing? Can you show it in the Skype chat?
Sure, I'll share screen. So yeah, this video
it's totally new to me. So
well, did it just come out today, Dave?
I think so. Yeah, it just came out a little while ago.
Yeah, September 6th.
It's by a channel that I subscribe to, so there must be some good stuff. But
Me too. I think this channel does great work. It's called Zetetic
Yeah.
Flat Earth. I've never had issues with that channel.
Me neither. I think I've even put their stuff on my app.
Yeah, I think so too. And so if you're not, the name of the video is Flat Earth Map Clock is Wrong. The Sun is the Dragon Serpent Snowpiercer. Zetetic
It's a
Flat Earth.
Wikipedia flat Earth thing under it.
Yeah, always on. What do you know? So
Right.
you can see it, Dave? You can see it good?
Play a little bit of the video, and then we could discuss what
Sure.
she's not seeing.
Absolutely. All right. And hopefully everybody is here. All right, we're good. So here's how the video begins. Let's go.
And then the other thing is, it might be a good idea as a feature, but you tell me what you think. Go ahead.
Well, I thought about that, and I was like, okay, I could see where that's going. It doesn't mean that the clock is wrong, and in fact, some of the things she says are certainly wrong. But let's go.
Hi guys, this is Nina from Zetetic Flat Earth, and today I'd like to talk to you about Flat Earth Map Clock and why I think it's incorrect and we shouldn't be using it. So there are.
So she says it's incorrect and we shouldn't be using it. And just point out the reason we all use it is because it does work and it adjusts,
And it is correct.
and it is correct and it adjusts for where you live, which is maybe what she doesn't realize. Part of that reason could be, Dave, if she doesn't have it downloaded on her own phone, isn't it possible she's confused because of that reason?
I don't know, and I can't. It's a little mind twisting to figure out why she can't see this. But go ahead, let it play a little longer.
Let's go.
Two main platforms that those clocks are popular and available. The first one is a regular clock that you can, physical clock that you can hang basically on the wall. It's divided by 24 hours and it has a clock mechanism, and underneath there is a flat earth map, and the hands move and you can read the time. And the second one is basically the same concept, it's just digital. You can download it on your smartphone, and then you can also see, where is the position of the sun, where is the position of the moon, and you can see the time. So it's beautiful. Everybody says, oh, it's such a beautiful thing.
Dave,
it's amazing, blah, blah, blah. So where is the problem?
Right.
So the problem is that the time that they show over there do not correspond to the correct times in those given countries. Okay? Once again, they show you a time, and the time is totally different in the given country where they show you the time. Okay?
What? So,
Wait, what?
So what she's saying is, I think she's looking at where the sun is and saying that the time where the sun is the wrong time.
Correct.
And
that would be
that's
correct.
what time.
She's correct in saying that. I mean, so if we're looking at this little picture that she's got on the screen here, and if this is where the sun is, and she's saying in that given country, so this is the United States, so maybe it's a little bit off the coast, maybe Alaska, but she's saying the time in that given country is incorrect, which she's correct. The sun,
absolutely right.
Right, it is not 10:30 p.m. here for somebody in the United States. It would be It'd be almost noon.
When I look at my phone here, I have on the app I have the right time, 9:25, and the moon seems to be in the right position. Things look fine, but I have a 12-hour clock on my app.
Well, let me guess.
Which is fine. It's the same thing.
Right, and let me guess, Rodrigo. Let me guess where the sun is. The sun is probably a little bit, almost in this location that you see on the screen. Why? Because it's 12:30 for me here, and therefore the sun is past me just a little bit.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. It's right on top of California. Yeah.
Right. So that is correct. So let's continue.
Okay, and I'll tell you why. You see, because they made a major mistake. Let me explain to you what's happening with the flat Earth. Our flat Earth is the perfect time zone map.
Okay, so here she's showing a circulating sun and carrying along with it the time, which is correct. Like we said, I mean, it is always noon for whoever's under the sun. So now she's just showing this map rotating around with noon rotating with it. That's not the point of the Flat Earth Sun, Moon, and Zodiac Clock app, is to show you it could do that. It could rotate noon around, but why would you need that if you know it's always noon where the sun is? You don't need the clock to be rotating with the sun. You know that.
It's also kind of cool because no matter what time it is where you are, the noon is where someone's under the sun, so you can see that right away.
Correct. So I think that's where she's just basically thinking that the clock should be done in another way, basically so that you would always know the time in whatever country the sun is.
She said in her one of her comments, I think, that she has a clock on her phone already that tells me what time it is where she is, so she doesn't need the Flat Earth, Sun, Moon, and Zodiac clock app.
Oh. And she thinks it would be, but she would rather see what time it is everywhere, is what she's saying.
I guess.
So what she's saying is, okay, so if we're looking at this map right here, right, or this clock that's on the screen, what she's basically saying is then she'd be able to look at the United States here and say, what time is it where Jaren is? Oh, it's 1 a.m. That's what I think she's saying. So she'd be able to...
Is that a feature that people would like? Because I can make a button that changes it to that.
Yeah,
Sure.
that's kind of cool. I mean, why not? You have the compass. It's really cool.
Yeah,
Really
I guess
like the
you could do
compass.
that. I mean, I don't know if people would really need that. I mean, for me, I don't really look at it ever to see what time it is somewhere else.
And I look at it sometimes to say, hey, in when it's 5 o'clock, the sun is going to be over here. When it's 9 o'clock, it's going to be over. I like to know where the sun is, and I'll see the moon coming around. I'm like, oh, the moon's going to be here in 2 hours, or
Right.
It shows me where it is and what time it's going to be for me.
So it's not that the map clock doesn't work or the app doesn't work. I mean, what she's saying is she wants to look at this map and say India's here, right? And then say, well, what time is it in India? Oh, it's 3 p.m. So that's
but the
what she
time
wants to use it
zone
for.
changes, daylight savings and stuff like that.
Yeah,
That's
I
going
guess
to
it
throw
would be-
things off.
You would have to be close.
The app has a daylight savings feature on it. When they move the clock forward, the sun doesn't move forward. It's because we go into what I call fake time. So in the settings, if you turn on the daylight savings switch, the hour hand will jump 1 hour in front of the sun, and it won't be attached to the hour hand. It'll just be trailing it by 1 hour. So that's something you have to set manually. And the reason is because there's places in the same, longitudes that observe and don't observe daylight savings time. So
it's kind of a disaster.
I had to make it a manual thing. So when that comes up, everybody just switch it on, and then the sun will be in the right place. It'll still show the right time.
For the most part,
But
now I
it's
do.
interesting because Sorry, go ahead, Jaron.
Well, I was going to say, now I do understand what she's saying, because at first I was confused where she was saying, oh, it should always be 11 o'clock before the sun. And now I see what she's saying. What she's basically saying is that the clock, noon, moves throughout the world like this, right? Clockwise. And wherever the sun is about to be is 11 o'clock a.m. Because it's going to be noon there, and it's going to be noon there, and it's going to kind of keep working around like that. So I think she's just saying that she would rather see it like this, which would just be a feature. But it's not the way the app is supposed to work, because the app adjusts to noon wherever you are, or wherever you are is straight up and down from here, right at this, kind of this line where it says west-east here. So wherever you live, the map adjusts itself to there, and then based on that, you can tell the time where you are based on where the sun is, because the sun works as a clock. So if it's noon, the sun is going to be straight up and down with this part here. Oh, we'll let it go.
If you look at the
If it's right there. So if that would be noon for where you live. But again, we don't live in West Africa here, right? So, I mean, that's why the map rotates to where you are. What she's saying is she would rather look around and see, okay, what time is it in Ushuaia? Well, you'd be able to look at this if the map rotated like this, and be able to look at Ushuaia and say, oh, it's probably 7:15.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah, but there's one thing that's also a problem is that places like China, I think the whole country has the same time. It doesn't matter where you are.
Right. So it would not be accurate. You should not use it to go what time you're going to call your girlfriend in China. No. All right, let's continue.
But in terms of where the sun is, right, then it's accurate, right? The problem is the culture. How people change where they want the time zones in the countries that make the decisions where it should be, and so on and so forth, right? Because you have, 3 time zones in the States?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Sometimes
So
4, really. I mean, it gets kind of be a disaster. But I mean, just looking at this, I took a screenshot of my my clock today. As you can see here, it was 11:35 for me, so it was shortly before the show got started. And the sun is not quite at the 12 o'clock position, which would be above my head. And so where I started to get confused, where she said, oh, it's always 11, where yeah, okay, I see what she's saying. She wants to be able, for instance, if we're looking at this clock, yes, you cannot look at Madagascar and say, "Oh, it's 2 a.m. in Madagascar."
No.
No, it's not, and it's not intended to work that way. Now, if you did have this thing rotating with, now it's weird that I just said that because actually, since the sun is at noon, it's kind of correct. It would be 2 a.m. in Madagascar because now the thing is rotated correct.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
What about
Divided,
if I just put an interior ring inside where all the dashes are that you can turn on and off that showed you the actual times, and it just rotated around with the sun?
Yeah, it's actually a good feature idea. So thank you.
Well, so thank you, Zetetic Flat Earth. But here's the thing. In this group, in this community, if you are, if we're all on the same team, if you find something wrong that you think is wrong, contact that person first. Have a conversation. Make sure you got your facts straight. Make sure you're not missing something before you attack them.
It's not that again, the title is Flat Earth Map Clock is wrong, which it's not.
That kind of triggered me a little bit.
Well, I can see why.
Yeah, I mean, in the beginning she starts off, you shouldn't be using it. I mean, that's a little bit, if all she's talking about is something you can really easily fix, you just came up with a solution in 2 minutes, right?
Right, and it would be a feature because, again, I could see the need if I ever wanted to look at Australia and say, what time is it in Australia, then I guess that would be a feature that you could add to the app, although that's not the point of it. The point is to be a clock where you are and for you to see where the sun is. And really,
right now, looking at Australia on my phone, I could see that the sun is about to rise in Eastern Australia. Yeah.
And another thing I just thought,
and so David, I could assume it's like 6 a.m. there.
Well, and the weird thing for me is that if I'm looking at my clock right now, since the sun is at its 12 o'clock position, because it's 12:30 here for me, then right now it does work as she's describing, because I could look at Australia and see that it's 8 a.m.
Well, I think that only works for 1 hour a day.
Sorry, 8 p.m. Right, it would only work when it's right on your 12 o'clock. Right, that's what I'm saying.
You divide the thing in 4, and the midnight's opposite to noon.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
You divide it in 4, you figure it out.
So basically, I just need a wheel, pin it to the sun. Right. So when the sun is noon for the observer, it's right for everybody. And as long as that wheel spins with the clock, it shows you the real time in that place. That's going to be a feature where you can turn it on or off.
Sure, and it moves just like her clock here.
I was gonna ask you, David. I'm not sure it's possible as well. Like with the problem with the time zones, you know how they have those maps that have the time zones drawn into it,
like the colors and everything.
Yeah, I'm not sure it would work here, but like an overlay with the time zone, so that China has its own thing. Yeah, but it's too small, maybe.
Yeah, it will be a little problem for places like China that have combined everything into one time zone, but it's close enough.
For the most part, it'd be close enough.
If you want to go out and navigate where you are by the position of the moon and the sun on my app, you might crash into something. It's close enough.
Right. But if this wheel did turn along with it, and let's say I turned on my app right now and I looked at the app, well, by looking at this, I'd be able to tell, what is the time in Australia? Oh, it's midnight. Right?
Yeah.
Which is correct because it's directly across from the sun anyway. So, I mean, I see what she's saying. Let's hear a little more.
Down, right? And when you look at the sun, for example, whatever the sun is, it's always 12 o'clock noon.
Correct.
Right? And the sun makes a circle. Each circle is 24 hours.
Correct.
And we have 365 circles during the year, which is 365 days, right? And the sun makes a circle, like a spiral, and it's going larger and smaller. If it goes closer to the north, then it reaches the Tropic of Cancer, which is 23.5 degrees north, and we have June 21st solstice. And then when it goes furthest south, which is 23.5 degrees south, Tropic of Capricorn, then we have in December 21st, December solstice, right? Because it's the farthest. Okay. It's like the biggest
so far, so good.
Circle that the sun makes. So this is very important because the sun goes clockwise. If you were looking at the sun from above, looking down on our flat earth, the sun goes clockwise, right? And the sun breaks through the fabric of space and time. So
you know about that?
It goes to the future. leaving behind the past.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense what she says. We've all said. I mean, yeah, the sun dictates the time, and yeah, it's going to the future. I guess you can say that, of course.
And that's because you divide time. Otherwise, it's just doing its thing, and it's just there, and it's always the present. But okay.
Correct. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, if you're defining it by time, right? Which is man-made. I mean, if you're talking about time, then yes, it's going to the future.
Sun, you can compare it to some kind of bullet train, or a dragon, or a serpent. Goes to the future. So what time, what immediate hour we have in front of the sun? We have 11 o'clock.
So what she's showing there is that what time do we have immediately following the sun? So again, it would be
in front
11.
of the sun. It's an hour earlier.
Correct.
In front of the sun.
Right. So
makes
she's
sense.
saying makes sense. So as it's moving
if you're
through its
going to
path,
spin it around, it makes sense. But then the thing is, she's right in that's the way it works if you want to know what time it is around the world. The question is, how often are you going to look at your clock and want to know what time it is in Australia versus what time it is where you are? I get up in the morning, I look at the clock, I say, okay, sun's rising at this time. I got my day set out. I'm like, oh, look, the moon's in the sky. I better go look out the window. There it is.
I've never thought of using it in that way because it would be very generic. I mean, it's not going to be exact. There's no way you'd be. I mean, if you're going to look up what time it is in Sweden, then I would look it up what time it is in Sweden. I wouldn't just look at where the sun is and say, oh, well, okay, for me it's here, so Sweden is this time.
Well, I mean, right now
you could. You could.
I guess you get a sense of how the sky is, whether or not the sun is right above it, and so on and so forth. You know, I take a look at it sometimes to see where the moon is. And and when it was over Africa, for instance, I thought it was quite interesting that I could see it, and just to imagine that under it, Africa would be there. But it's just kind of you get a sense. It's kind of like you get a sense of where you are in the environment and where things are around you. That's what it's for mostly. Otherwise, it's just a clock.
So if everyone looks at their flat Earth clock right now, no matter where you are, if you're in Africa or Australia or in America, South America, you'll see that the sun is just about to rise in Western Australia. That tells you that it's probably close to 6 a.m. or Eastern Australia. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it doesn't matter what orientation it is because the sun and the light and the dark are in the same orientation for everybody, in the same position. But the map is just spun around differently.
So what she is saying is that if there was an inner workings to the clock, if you're going to add that as a feature, then you'd be able to right now look at Australia and whatever time it's set in that little inner circle would be correct, or at least close to
already
correct.
Designing it.
He's already designing it. All right, let's continue to see if there's anything else she had a problem with.
Because if the sun always points 12 o'clock, the noon, in front of the sun, we have 11 o'clock. Right. And behind the sun, we have 1 o'clock p.m.
Right.
Or 1300, right? Mm-hmm. But look what they show on their flat Earth map clocks. They show over here is the sun, and the sun goes clockwise.
Okay, and what she's showing here is for somebody who is in Africa. So if somebody had this
here in Europe, it's just like mine.
Sure. Okay. Yeah. So somebody in Europe as well. So if somebody was there and they wanted to see what time it is for them, then they would look at where the sun is, and the sun would tell them that it's 10:30, where they are. So it works just fine, unless you're trying to see what time is it in Australia. If you're looking at Australia, it is not 5 a.m. there, right?
It doesn't say 5 a.m., but it is 5 a.m.
Correct.
I can't see that little. Oh, there it is.
Well,
yeah. So this was. I mean, I was thinking. I'm looking at it now on my clock. Sorry.
Gotcha. Yes.
What do we have next? We have 11 p.m. and then we have midnight, which is
which is correct for this person in this location. For Rodrigo, it's 10:30 right now, and as the sun moves further along, it's going to be 11, and then as the sun moves here, it's going to be midnight, and then it's going to be 1 a.m.
I think she simply missed the fact that the outer ring is adjusted to her location, and she was imagining that the outer ring should be following the sun.
Which I kind of like the idea.
It's a good idea.
It's completely incorrect. And what we are leaving behind, we are leaving behind the future. We have 10 o'clock, then we have 11 o'clock p.m.
I don't really understand that part. She says, what are we leaving behind the future? No, you're leaving behind the past.
I don't get that.
As the sun moves towards midnight, from 11 p.m. towards midnight, you're leaving behind the past. 10 p.m., 9 p.m., 8 p.m.
It's just a relative scale. That's all there is to it. Is that this one is being pinned to a position relating to where you are, your time zone, so that you can get the actual reading on the clock correct. Right. And her way of doing it is different.
That's all.
I like looking at the clock and knowing at midnight for me where the sun is going to be and who's going to be, at midnight for me, Western Australia is noon.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And so
I know where midnight is now and where noon is now. And I know midnight's coming for me.
And like you
and
said,
the moon's going to rise as well. That's pretty cool.
And you can do it in quarters, so you know where 6 and 9 is as well. JQ sent a super chat, says, and what have we learned today? Do not F with Dave's app. Thanks, JQ.
Hello, everyone.
This is
Iru, welcome to the show.
Thank you, man. I just want to say hello and please continue. I saw the video of the synthetic synthetic flag tube or whatever. Yeah, I think the same you are explaining.
But it's a good idea, right? I mean, it would be nice to have that feature. Yeah, I think
yes.
So. Okay.
Wait. Does Iru approve of my feature?
Well, we can discuss that on private.
Here's the only problem, though. Designing it, because as it turns, the numbers will go upside down.
Well, the way hers did, you mean? That's where we at.
Yeah, it's like to make them rotating in their own thing. That's
well, they could be like
this. Strange.
Yeah, they have to be on a kind of pinwheel thing that stays horizontal as they move around, almost like a Ferris wheel.
Do it, but that costs even more money. But
yeah, it's a bit more work.
I would just do it like this.
Yeah.
People will be able to figure that out. All right, let's continue. See if there's anything else here.
They show over here is the sun, and the sun goes clockwise. So what do we have next? We have 11 p.m. and then we have midnight, which is completely incorrect. And what we are leaving behind? We are leaving behind the future. We have 10 o'clock, then we have 11 o'clock p.m.
Oh, no. I now get what she's saying there. She's saying leaving behind the future, as in if this was the time for, say, United States. As the sun moved on, she goes, we'd be leaving behind the future. I get what she's saying, but that's not the point of the app. It's a great feature idea.
This is completely wrong. And the same thing they show over here. So this is completely incorrect. Look, in front of the sun, we have later hour. So over here we have 12 and then we have 1 p.m. The 1 p.m. should be on the other side and 11 o'clock.
That's where she's wrong. Do not do that.
I don't get that.
Be on the other side. Look, this is what I made. I changed that completely.
Yeah, because you moved the 12 o'clock position to where the sun is now.
Yeah, it's now locked to 12 is locked to the pointer,
right.
and the way it is set up is so that it's adjusted to the location.
Now I do see what she's saying, because this would work as a world clock. You'd be able to look at this and say, what time is it in Western Australia? Oh, it's 7 a.m.
I like it. I'm going to add it as a feature.
Yeah, that would work. What time is it in Ushuaia? It is 4 p.m. That would work. What time is it in Madagascar? It is midnight. So as long as your clock rotated along with the sun, like she's talking about, then you would be able to look at
it'll just be the inner wheel will be part of the hour hand, part of the hour hand artwork.
Yes.
The hour hand artwork has there's two of them. One has a sun pinned to it for when it's not daylight savings, and one of them doesn't have a sun pinned to it.
Right.
Has the sun pinned actually off of it. So it's all just one piece of art that's spinning.
And I do like the idea. Now, the more I think about it, it would work to at least say, okay, what time is it in, if you wanted to see what time it is for Rodrigo right now, you'd be able to look at this and say it's 11 p.m. It would work.
So this is 12 o'clock. This is where the sun is, right? And wherever the sun is, it's 12 o'clock.
Right. And 11 is immediately before, because if you were right here, it would be 11 o'clock for you, almost going to be 12. Again, makes sense.
So in front of the sun, we have 11 o'clock in the morning, then we have 10. You see that?
Right.
So this
All right, we
is
got the
how it
gist.
should work.
We got it.
So if
All right. Was there anything else that she said about it?
No, I think that's it. I think that's it.
Yeah, I think so. I don't know. What does she talk about here with the
okay,
time?
and then you need to adjust it. So for example, you are in London. So you make an adjustment and it shows you the time in London. Of course, this line I just put to just show you.
Okay, I get it. And yeah, you would be able to say, what time is it here? It's 20 or 21.
Interesting.
I don't think
What is the
that's-
part when she said that
Oh, yeah,
David is
here.
a shield?
Dave, did she say that? Maybe I missed that part.
No.
That's the feeling I got.
Oh,
But
okay.
she's calling me stupid, I think.
No, I
Yeah,
didn't.
there's a whole other feature, right, where you can supposedly search for the town or the city, and it points you in the map, and it tells you what time it is. But
Point with your finger? That'd be pretty difficult
Yeah.
to do.
yeah,
Good luck
or
with
you
that
have a list, with the cities, and you can click on it. I mean, I don't know, how much you need.
Well, that's
to
awesome. It's a great
satisfy.
feature idea, and I know Dave, and Dave will implement that. And it shouldn't be
It's
too
not- I
difficult,
don't
right,
think
Dave?
it's not difficult to implement. It'll take me a week or two to get it
Okay.
set and approved and then uploaded.
And then you and I have to do another features video.
Yeah, we're getting that time.
It's almost been 6 months. We got to do another one.
All right, guys, listen, I got to jump.
Thanks, Dave.
I got some stuff I got to deal with. And
Be careful with the gravity. If
Watch
you
out.
jump, yeah. Okay.
Be
all
very
right, and
careful.
everybody, there's a nice brand new updated Spanish playlist in the
Yeah.
app thanks to
Yeah.
Iru.
Woo.
So if you're Spanish speaking, looking for Spanish videos, go to the to the flag button, and you can see new Spanish videos from Iru.
Yes, I need to create the new playlist because it was related with the old channel. The
Right.
channel who the ones who delete me. So thank you for putting me in the Spanish list, man. It's a privilege.
Guys, thanks so much. I'll see you later. Jaron, thanks.
Thanks,
for
Dave.
covering
David.
this.
See ya.
See you, bye.
All right, so we wanted to point that out. Iru, I had somebody reach out to me, just so you know, and tell me that they have a great grasp of the English and Spanish language, and they would be willing to do
Oh, nice.
captions for you.
Nice.
So I'll send you his Skype information.
Yeah, please. So I can send I have the files in as SRT, which is the normal file format for subtitles. So it's very organized and very clean to read, and maybe
Easy to change.
you can. Yeah, it's very easy to change because you can open with just the Notepad tool
Thanks.
on Windows. Yeah.
Oh, sweet.
Cool.
Okay, very good. Any other new news on your channel? Anything? Have they given it back? Have they realized the error of their ways?
No. I yesterday I was start thinking, and maybe there is a chance that on 24th of September could be the possibility to jump again the channel from the from nowhere to be able again to be active, but that is something that I'm
What do you mean,
thinking.
jump the channel from nowhere?
I
What do
got-
you mean?
Yeah, I'm gonna explain, because once YouTube delete delete your channel, I believe that when the first time happened to me, I remember that I read that they leave like 1 month open the possibility to get wrong or things like that to restore
Right.
your channel. So I was at 23 of September, one of the guideline strikes was passed, was disabled.
Right.
Or will pass in
Will pass, exactly.
Okay.
So maybe, I don't know, this is just an idea, maybe could happen that automatically when that thing happened, my YouTube channel be
comes back to
restored,
life.
come back to it. But I know that that type of things happen with the copyright strikes. I don't think that could happen with community guidelines, communist guidelines. But
Right.
Who knows? That's my only hope. But the reality is I made a new YouTube channel. Right now I am on 5,000 subscribers. Every day I remember the people that are following me via Instagram, via a community button on the other channels that I have, and WhatsApp group, things like that. Remember to anyone to go to the new channel. So I just start working in the new channel. If that thing that I comment, maybe gets real,
Right.
well, that's gonna be something good. But who knows?
Okay, yeah. I mean, I had hope today. I heard that Jeff Berwick did a video today, Dollar Vigilante, and he said that the day before yesterday or yesterday he got a strike on a video, and then the next day he woke up and the strike was gone. So I don't know if they're actually looking at things a little more careful. I've never seen that happen to me.
No, to me happened once.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Vanishing strike.
It was a vanishing strike, yes, but automatically, without even appeal.
Right, that's what he
Nothing.
didn't appeal it either.
Just went away.
Exactly, yes.
Yeah. So that is.
They can do whatever they want, apparently.
Yeah, they can do whatever they want. I'm still waiting for the response of the first appeal. I make an appeal yesterday. So I'm waiting that response. Maybe never come. Or maybe they're gonna just say me, no, we make a recheck and yeah, your channel is delete, whatever.
Yeah. Okay. Well, did you guys see Dr. John D's video? I haven't had a chance to watch it real carefully, but it seems like more kind of Black Swan kind of proof. Did you guys watch it with the windmills?
No.
No.
Just come out?
No, I can't.
I saw one from the Italian channel that it came from English channel. In fact, it came from the site of Flat Earth and Clock app, the ones who is the Mount Everest, and they compare with the Kerr calculator.
Okay.
And I never saw it, so maybe if you take a look and you say, yes, I know this video, but it was really nice to take a look if you want later.
Yeah, send me a link later. And also for people, check Dr. John D's video, because I've seen a lot of people talking about it and kind of kicking around, and it certainly seems, again, you're seeing these windmills out there, and they're all clearly, you can see where they touch the water. I mean, there is nothing hidden behind curvature that should be there. Again, I just don't quite understand this whole thing of looming, and that what we're seeing is not really there, and what we're seeing is really behind these hills. And Iru's talked about it before.
They have to be creative, right?
I guess. I mean, what else are they going to do, right? I mean, they have to make up something, and this is what they've done forever. Is that we're seeing behind curves, we're seeing around bends, and basically the Earth displays itself as flat, but it's not, and deal with it. That's kind of their method there. So anyway, like I said, I was just going to do a short show, probably going to wrap this up. I wanted to get Dave a chance to kind of speak on his app, which has been trashed this morning. No, I'm just kidding. It's a great app, and obviously what she was talking about, Nina, is just another way to look at it, and the way that you need to look at it. I think he'll add that as a feature, because it makes sense to me. Now I'm thinking about it, I'm like, okay, I guess I could see using it for that. I could look at it and say, what time is it in Australia? Look at it and say, that's not what it works for today. It shows
Bob is
you
saying there that the John D video is better than the Black Swan proof. So he's saying it's total epic.
Yeah, that's what I hear. And I tried watching it today, but it's like an hour and 20 minutes, and so I didn't get enough of it to kind of comment on it. What I saw was, again, the distances that we're seeing these, and I did have it up, and I don't know why I don't. Let me see it one more time and see if I accidentally. I don't see what I did with it. So we will discuss that. I'm sure Bob will talk about that next Sunday. I'll probably talk about it as well. I just need to watch the entire thing. Iru, do you understand this real quick before we go? This star hop. What is the point of this thing? Do you know? Have you done any research on this beyond just watching the videos?
Again, the Starship.
Star hop. This thing here. Can you see on the screen this SpaceX star hop that they keep launching this tin can in the sky?
Well, I didn't get into this. I just saw the test, and for me, right now it's like a test for, I don't know exactly. Maybe I believe it's something to go to Mars, right?
That's what I'm saying, but that's the most ridiculous thing ever. Like, if think of how primitive this would be if you're able to launch a tin can 100 and
Look at this thing. It sounds like toilet paper roll or something.
Yeah,
It's like
without any. Well, it's like just a tube without the dynamics. There is no speed, but who
I just
knows?
don't get
Maybe
it.
they are just testing
But I don't know what
balance,
you mean.
equilibrium, whatever. I don't know.
Yeah. But it only can go 150 feet high. So when you say it's for Mars, I mean, if this thing works on Earth and based on their, fairy tale story of Mars having 1% the atmosphere, it would never work on Mars, ever.
No, I
No,
just saying that
no
they
way.
are testing for, have big fuel tanks to put inside the super rocket and
That's what they're saying. Yeah.
send to the space and whatever. I don't know exactly
It
what
doesn't
they're
make any
testing.
sense. I'm still waiting for somebody to explain it to me, and I've tried watching videos on it. I just don't. They're very excited about it. They get very
Looks
thrilled
like
about it.
It looks like it's got a jet of propane going from under it,
Yeah,
man.
and
Like
so
this is just totally.
It's
I
like,
mean,
but if you believe in their stories that they already tell us, they already have rockets that they can launch that get going 17,000 miles per hour that orbit the Earth. What good would this thing do?
No, I get it that rockets already look pretty bad and primitive and ridiculous. I mean, you see how much fuel they burn and everything, but this is going backward, right? They're managing to go.
Yeah, I don't get
Kind
it.
of design.
It'd be like something you would expect to see shortly after. I just don't get it. I mean, it's launching up 150 feet in the air and it comes back down. And they call it Star Hopper, which is just a stupid name because it's not going to go to any stars. It's not even going to ever work anywhere else, even if you believe in the moon being a rocky body in space. Well, this thing certainly wouldn't work there. I mean, I just don't get it. I don't know.
Come on, I mean,
Yeah, supposedly
what
I sent it an article, but something that they put on capital letters or bold letters said that the Starship, this thing, SN number 7 will be now will be new alloy test tank taken to burst pressure. The number 8 will have body flaps and nose cone, and so yeah, it's like a
Okay, so
step.
it's the inner part of it.
Yeah,
supposedly.
All right.
there are inner parts, and they are going to add new faces, new
coating.
steps.
I
Yes,
admit
they
I
are going
could-
to
They're gonna make
I
it
could-
pretty. Don't worry, they make it pretty.
All right, it's coming. All right, and it's gonna
Yes,
it's
yes,
gonna
yes,
hop
yes,
between
yes.
stars. It's gonna go Andromeda. It's just gonna jump around different galaxies. It's a galaxy hopper starship SN6, and it will go to the moon, and we'll have bases there and flying cars. Instead, I mean, remember we were all told we'd have flying cars right around this time. The year 2000.
Yes,
Instead,
yes,
2000
right.
was right for me.
Instead, we're all wearing masks and quarantined to our homes, and you're not allowed to open your business as a barber because everybody might get sick. So the world's definitely going in the direction that they said and that
Yeah.
we all believed, and what's going on with all these movies and the propaganda. It's definitely headed that direction. So good for them. We're on the right
Yeah,
track.
I think this is also them milking it the hardest.
Oh, yeah, of
You
course.
do a little part here and you test it a million times. You put it on YouTube and you go a little bit more, and in 50 years you get a little bit more done. It's like Curiosity on Mars or whatever it is. Like it goes, a meter a day or less, right?
Yeah, it doesn't
Yeah,
barely move at all.
before they get it, the company was broke, so the the mission was canceled.
Yeah, no, I don't get it at all. And I was reading more space.com today just because it's always fun to check in there. And the newest thing is, NASA mega rocket blasts past cost estimates, forces Congress notification. So again, they do the same thing that they've always done. They ask for a
Pocketing
certain
the money, man.
Yeah, they just ask for a certain billions of dollars. We need $2 billion to build this rocket. We need $3 billion. The Congress says, okay, they give them all the money. They tell them, all right, we'll have it built in 3 years. At the end of the 3 years, what do they always say? Oh, it's actually going to be 2 additional years, and we need another 1.5 or $2 billion. And at that point, they've backed Congress into a corner where Congress can't just say, no, we can't give you any more money, because then the amount of billions that they gave before for this project are completely wasted. So it's just a great scam. You just
It's a
always
blackmail that
put
gets
out.
worse and worse as time goes by, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's the
They
same
can't
thing that's
back off.
happened with this, with the James Webb Space Telescope. That the cost estimates are ridiculous. It's like 10 years overdue. I could be wrong there. Maybe it's 8 years overdue. And what will it eventually give us? They're eventually going to launch something. They'll say that the James Webb Space Telescope is in space. There won't be any cameras of anything going on. Of course not, right? They have more important things to do, Jaron, than to put cameras on the James Webb Space Telescope that's 10 years late and multiple billions of dollars over budget. And then it will return images no different than we get from Hubble. And if people want to believe those, I saw this article as well. This was amazing space photos of the week. And you get images like, this is the sun, by the way.
It's always the same one.
It's always the same ones. I mean, come on. And now here's a dust devil flying by on Mars. So beautiful, so amazing. Starlink, going across the sky, beautiful. Pictures of Earth from space. Thank you. Never seen that before. And then they have like these images, which.
What is that? Merry Christmas. A Merry Christmas background.
The worst one is when they show pictures of galaxies, right? Those spinning galaxies. Like what you're supposed to believe of those is that inside of those pictures are all little suns, right? The galaxy is made up of little tiny suns, and orbiting each little sun is little planets, and orbiting each little planet is little moons. I mean, that's the story they tell, right? It's crazy.
Look at that. Like that looks like, I mean.
So what is like this golden light here? It's supposed to be tons of little.
It's like,
suns?
how do you create this, Edu? Like, how easy is to make this on a computer?
No, that's very easy. And in fact, I have a lot of videos showing that the own employees of NASA, working and showing how they put the data together and how they talk with astrophysicists to accomplish the final drawing, adding a little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little more of color in this part, a new star here. But they just in your face, they telling you that there is all artist perception at the end of the day.
But sometimes they try and pass these off as real. They tell you like this is an image from Hubble, and so
yeah,
people have
like
to believe.
It's called deep something. This whole story is that they look at this dark part of the sky and they left Hubble there with open
lens.
Open lens. So and like then all this stuff popped out.
When we see galaxies like these, what they're telling us is all those little light dots are actually suns. Right? Millions and millions and millions, if not more, miles apart, trillions of miles apart.
And in fact, I have a video here. It's an old one. I mean, maybe 4 months ago, I was downloaded this video when there is a live talk of engineering of NASA, trying to explain how they put together the images from the Juno or Cassini probe. And there is a flat earther on the room, and he start question it, and the guy turns crazy.
Oh yeah, I haven't seen this.
You didn't see it?
I don't.
It doesn't sound
I don't
familiar.
remember. Is it not? Is it recent?
Yeah, if you want to, I can share my screen.
Sure,
just
share it, and then we'll wrap it up. Go ahead.
Okay.
Let's have Iru end the
So
show for us.
supposedly right now I'm sharing.
Yes.
Sharing.
Yep.
Okay. So the video, and I believe that maybe you can, found with this name. The name of the video is NASA image. Let me just make the test and put this here and see if that appear. It's a 25-minute video from. I'm going to subscribe again because I lose. That is the most.
Oh, you lose all your subs.
Onions, yeah. The most bad thing about delete your channel, they delete all the other channels that you are being subscribed.
Right.
So it's crazy, man. So the video is this: NASA image calibration engineer attempts to explain why North America is changing size.
Oh, okay.
And it's a 25 minute long. It's a long video, but if you want to, I just play a couple of minutes. I don't know.
Yeah, you know where the key kind of when the problems start.
We have like three problems part along those 25 minutes, but let me just play and see what.
Okay.
Because
Cool.
I cannot remember. I just downloaded and.
I don't think we have sound though. Just so you know.
Oh,
Right now,
No, I don't hear
there
anything.
is sound. No, okay. What strange thing that. Let me just because I share with audio. Well,
Unless I was.
still not sound.
It's very quiet.
Okay, let me see. Maybe if
Wait,
this,
but you said it's on YouTube. I can. Well, maybe we could look at it another time because.
Okay. Don't worry. I cut. Well, I recommend this video to everyone to see. It's very funny.
And it's only 25 minutes. Okay, we'll check it out another time because it's not working with sound, at least this time. All right, well, thank you, everybody. I hate to have it cut short, but again, if you are a patron, first of all and foremost, thank you very much. We all thank you if you're patrons of ours. And so today I'm going to be doing a patron-only hangout. I guess it won't be called a live stream. It'll be called a hangout. And, yeah, so basically in a few minutes you'll be able to go to Patreon, and I'll have a post on there that will give a unlisted YouTube link, and we'll be able to be there, and you guys will be able to join via StreamYard if you want, or you can just sit back and listen and hang out, and we'll just have a good conversation and see how long it goes. And there may not be a lot of people there. I know it's kind of short notice. I did mention it on Thursday, and I mentioned it again on Friday, but I understand a lot of people have plans, and maybe they can't make it. And the good thing is it'll be available on my website after for patrons if they want to watch those who did join. So patreon.com/jeranism if you want to join that group, that'd be awesome. If you want to join Rodrigo's group, it's patreon.com/anthropology. And to help out Iru Landucci, patreon.com/Nur para Todos. Iru, your new channel has the same name? Yes, correct?
Yes, you can find it. You put in Nur para Todos TV, and that's going to appear, but I delete the TV, so now it's like the same name as the old one.
Gotcha.
But YouTube still have, if you put the TV at the end, it's going to find much quickly.
Gotcha. All right, guys, it's been fun.
Hey, I have a quick question.
Oh, Dirt's back. Yeah, we got you.
If you're not a patron of yours, can you become a patron right now to get on this live stream?
Absolutely. But Dave, you're already a patron, so you can be there.
Okay. I was just checking. I have some friends that might want to join. So
yeah, that'd be awesome.
All right.
We'd love to have you on. Just go to patreon.com/jeranism, sign up right now, and within the next 15 or so minutes, you're going to get a post and a message, both giving a link to a video that you'll be able to go and watch and join from there. So it should be fun. Hopefully I see you there, Dave. You can join. It'd be fun to have you on.
okay.
so I can watch as well. I can just sit back and watch here.
Yeah, are you a patron?
Yeah, I'm a patron.
Awesome. Yeah, of course. Then yeah, you'll get the message and you can join because there'll be a StreamYard link, and then you can just jump on and join us. Cool. And we'll be on camera, and you can all see my beautiful face. What's better than that?
Nothing's better than that.
Nothing's better than that. All right, thanks, Dave. We'll see you in a few minutes. All right, guys, it's been fun. Thanks, Ira, for joining. And next week, Glowbusters will be back again. So Bob will be at the helm. He'll be running the show. Should be fun. We'll have Stephen Ross from Spacebusters and Gleam, who will talk a lot about the luminiferous ether. Have a hard time getting that out. So it'll be a fun show. I'm sure Austin will be there. Ira will be there. Rodrigo, myself. Be a fun show. So I remind you guys to do your own research. When you do, you'll never again believe what you've been taught. We will see you in a few minutes if you're a patron. If not, we'll see you tomorrow night, Monday Night Raw, on my Jeranism Raw channel. And we'll talk to you guys shortly. Till then, peace.